we worship crying Lord. Generally, people they go in front of the Lord and cry. With crying needs, they go and approach the Supreme Lord. But then the devotees, they are going to the Lord who himself is crying. So, yeah. So now we are going to the next few things in the oh. Okay. Okay. Lalit Prabhu, can you do the video spotlight? Yeah. So we are seeing this fourth shloka. So you all also can repeat after me. Varam deva moksham na mokshavadim va na chanyam runeham vareshadapiha. Everybody.
Varam deva moksham na mokshavadim va
Varam deva moksham na mokshavadim va na chanyam runeham vareshadapiha.
Varam deva moksham na mokshavadhim va na chanyam vraneham varishadapiha.
So here he says Varam deva moksham na mokshavathim va na chanyam runeham vareshadapiha. That Varam deva, that the Lord who is Varam also has various meanings for the Varam. Varam also means the boon. Var also means something superior. So Var has different meanings. So Varam Deva means one who is superior to all others, and he is also very expert in giving boons. And that's how we see that many people, they go to acquire some boons to the Supreme Lord. So understanding that Lord is very expert in giving out such boons, he is telling that moksham na mokshavathim va. So he says that I don't want moksha. I don't want just being freed from the difficulties of this life. Moksha vadhim. So the moksha is the kind of a goal of many spiritualists. So the many of the spiritualists Hare Krishna, I'm in class. So he says that I don't want moksha. Moksha is considered one of the very high goal for all the spiritualists. Moksha is the liberation. Moksha is the mukti, that is called as moksha. So generally, when we understand mukti, mukti means being free from birth, death, etc. So that is moksha. Moksha means being free from all difficulties, miseries. Because death is a misery. So one who wants freedom from that death, the birth is a misery. Wanting getting rid of that again and again and repeated birth. Disease is a misery. So being free from that miserable diseases. So being free from all these things, no birth, no death, nothing, that is considered moksha. So generally the many spiritualists who practice spiritual life in whatever way, different yogas, different paddhati. So their goal generally is moksha, to get out of this miseries. And moksha vadhi means the highest goal, and that is to go beyond this moksha, go to the spiritual world. So like now this material world where we are now, that is in negative axis, minus y axis. So lot of miseries are there. But then as you go to the positive direction, minus 20, minus 10, minus 5, and then comes 0. So 0 means no negative axis. So that is considered moksha, that no more negativity in life. But then that no more misery is not the highest thing, because still there is a positive axis up. So that positive axis is entering into spiritual realm, enter into spiritual thing. So that is a moksha. Moksha is like a 0 axis that you have now removed all the. So above moksha is the spiritual life. So this Ashtakam is talking that, my dear Lord, many spiritualists, they come to you for moksha, or even going beyond moksha, going to the Vaikuntha. But he says that I don't want these boons. Na chanyam pruneham vareshadapiha. So he is telling that these very exalted boons and any boon down, I don't need. So then Lord may ask that, if moksha you don't want, you don't want to go to spiritual world also, then what do you want? So here he is saying, idam te vapurnatha gopala balam sada me manasya virastam kimanyai. You can repeat this. Idam te vapurnatha gopala balam Sada me manasya virastam kimanyay.
idam te vapurnath gopal balam tadamev manasya virastam kimanye.
Idam te vapurnatha gopala balam sada me manasya virastam kimanyay.
idam
Idam te
vapurnath
vapurnath
gopal
gopal
balam
balam
sada
sada me
manasya
manasya virastam
virastam kimanye.
kimanye.
So here he is telling that idam te vapurnath gopala balam, that this very beautiful child-like form of yours, Gopala Balam, this Bala Gopal Roop, what you are showing here, Sada me manasya virastam kimanye, that this ये जो बाल रूप का जो छवि है, बाल रूप का जो रूप जो दृश्य है, वो मेरे मन में हमेशा रहे. और कौन से चीज का मुझे आशा है कि मन्यई, और क्या चीज का मुझे जरूरी हो सकता है. तो हम देखते हैं यहाँ पे कि remembering the Lord, thinking about the Lord is far superior to even moksha. So that means generally in this world, people, that is like first thing, that people, they want to be away from the difficulties and miseries of life. But then the happiness which we derive by remembering the Lord, remembering the pastimes of the Lord, remembering the qualities of the Lord, that gives so much of inner happiness, that in front of that happiness, small difficulties in this world, they look like pebbles in front of the big happiness of remembering Krishna and thinking about Krishna, which is like a Mount Everest. तो अभी हमारे जीवन में हम देखते हैं कि छोटे छोटे प्रॉब्लम है, वो बहुत बड़े लगते हैं, एज इफ माउंट एवरेस्ट ओनली. लेकिन भक्ति में जो आनंद आता है, वो जब चालू हो जाता है, तो दैट इज लाइक माउंट एवरेस्ट एक्चुअली. देन ये जो बाकी डिफिकल्टीज है, बाकी स्ट्रगल्स जो है हमारे जीवन में, that becomes very small. How is that? Prabhupada, एक बार he was taking a flight from New York to California. So because he was going for the some program first time. So I believe Los Angeles or some city he was flying first time in the America. So when he landed there, then he was sharing his experience to the devotees there. He said that I sat in the plane, and then as the plane was going ahead, all the big skyscrapers, 50-story, 100-story buildings, they started appearing like a matchbox. It's like very small when you are looking from top tens and hundreds of feet from above. When you see, then all these big skyscrapers, they appear very small. So what it means is that when we are at lower level, these buildings appear very huge. When you go very high, like a bird on the sky, same buildings looks like a matchbox. So similarly, in our life also, whatever very great difficulties we may perceive, they look like a matchbox when we go higher in our consciousness. जब हमारा चेतना जो है वो आध्यात्मिक रूप से उठ जाता है ऊपर, उठ जाता है ऊपर, उसका मतलब है कि वही चीज जो है अभी हम देख रहे हैं अपने पर्सपेक्टिव से, जब हम आध्यात्मिक जब हम आध्यात्मिक रूप से उसको देखते हैं तो हम कृष्ण के आंखों से देख सकते हैं उसको. सो द स्पिरिचुअल knowledge or spiritual science gives us a view far above than our normal view. तो वही चीज हम भगवान जैसे देखते हैं ये सृष्टि को, वैसे हम देख सकते हैं. So that makes our small things in this world, difficulties appear very tiny. So that happens when we are going higher in consciousness. तो इसीलिए आप देखेंगे कि आपने देखा होगा ये बहुत बार जो भी ये राजा होते थे या कोई बड़े व्यक्ति होते थे, वो जाते हैं कोई सॉल्यूशन के लिए या कुछ गाइडेंस के लिए किसी साधु के पास. तो ऐसा क्यों होता है? अभी कोई बहुत बड़ा एक्सपर्ट है, he is like a kingly figure, and then he is going to somebody who has apparently no understanding of this world. He has given up that world. तो ऐसे साधु के पास जाके उनको क्या गाइडेंस मिलने वाला है? Generally people they go to the guru in their own field. अगर कोई इंजीनियर है तो वो सोचेगा कि मैं सबसे बड़े इंजीनियर के पास जाऊंगा. कोई डॉक्टर है वो सोचेगा कि मैं सबसे बड़े डॉक्टर के पास जाके कुछ गाइडेंस लूंगा. कोई बड़ा बिजनेसमैन है, he will think that I'll go to the business tycoon and then take some guidance. लेकिन हम देखते हैं कि लोग साधु के पास जाते हैं किस लिए? Because sadhu can give us higher vision by which we can see the things in better perspective. So here also we see that a devotee can see things from very larger, that is called as a bird's eye view, that we see things from a superior view. Okay. So then we go to the next. So that's why he says here, idam te vapurnatha gopala balam sada me manasya virastam kimanye. I don't want any other boon other than remembering you. So this one thing we can understand in our life. Remembrance of God can empower us to tackle with the current problems in our life. बहुत बार लोग पूछते आध्यात्मिक जीवन क्या है, उसका क्या सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है, यूटिलिटी क्या है उसका. So utility and significance of spiritual life is that it empowers us to deal with the problems in our current life far better than person who is not Krishna conscious, than person who is have no connection with God. Because our consciousness is very clear, consciousness is very higher, like that. So we go to the 5th shloka. You please just a minute, I'll put it battery. Okay. So you all can also repeat after me. Idam te mukham bhojam atyanta nile vrittam kuntale snigdha raktaischa gopya.
Idam te mukhabojam atyant nile ritam kuntale
Idam te mukham bhojam atyanta nile vrittam kuntale snigdha raktaischa gopya.
te mukhabojam atyant nile ritam kuntale snigdha rakteshcha gopya.
Yeah. So here he says, idam, this, te mukham bhoja. Mukha means the face. Ambu, ambu matlab ambu means water. And ambu ja, ja means janam lena. So ambu ja मतलब जो पानी से जिसका जन्म होता है. So that is called as ambuja. So this is one word for जो पानी से खिलता है, कमल. तो कमल को बोलते हैं अंबुज, जो पानी से जन्म लेता है, पानी में खिलता है. So मुखाम भोजम means the lotus like face. That is called as mukham bhojam. Mukham bhojam atyanta nilair. So as you know that the Lord's complexion is bluish. So that's why we see that the Lord is very full of all energies, and then he is very radiant. His beauty is radiant, they say. So his radiance, his abha, his तेज जो बोलते हैं ना हम हिंदी में, तो वो नीला तेज है. क्योंकि उनका कलर नीला है। तो बहुत बार लोग पूछते हैं ना कि आसमान नीला क्यों है। कलर तो बहुत सारे हैं, पीला भी हो सकता है, लाल भी हो सकता है, बहुत सारे कलर हैं, अच्छे अच्छे कलर हैं, वो भी हो सकते हैं आसमान को। आसमान नीला क्यों है? तो आसमान जो है वो भगवान के जो कांति है उसको दर्शाता है। बिकॉज आवर होल यूनिवर्स इज इन द द द ब्राइटनेस ऑफ सुप्रीम लॉर्ड। तो उनका जो तेज है उसमें ये सब सारे ब्रह्मांड स्थित है। तो ये जो आकाश नीला है, क्यों? क्योंकि भगवान नीले हैं। तो भगवान का जो नीलमणि के जैसे जो कलर है वो आकाश उसलिए नीला है, क्योंकि वो भगवान के खुद का जो इट्स लाइक अ रिफ्लेक्शन एंड the light coming out of his body. So it's a effulgence coming out from Krishna's transcendental body, and that's how we see that the sky is blue. Of course, so we know that this is the real reason, and then scientists may have their own kind of scientific theories why the sky is blue, telling that how the sun rays are there, and then it is reflecting in this direction, and then this is the angle, and that's how we perceive that it is blue and whatever. But then we understand why the sun rays are bending in that exact direction and how the thing is coming to blue. That is because it is Krishna is blue, that's why the sky is blue. So he says that it's atyanta nilair vrittam kuntale snigdha raktaischa gopya, that his hairs are very curly. Right, so yes, you are in meeting or my class is going on? Can I call you? Yes, after half an hour. Yes. So he says that his curly locks of hairs, they are cascading down almost to his cheeks. So they are very blackish, and then they are cascading down, because we see that this hairs are also one of the very important factor of beauty in this world. तो इसलिए आप देखेंगे कि बहुत सारे लोग they give out their time and energy for making their hairs grow in specific fashion, and then they give the color and then texture and then things like that. So the Lord has naturally very beautiful hairs which are very attractive. Vrittam kuntale snigdha raktaischa gopya. So they are very shining, dark, his hairs. And then he describes Muhushchumbitam bimba raktadharam me manasya virastamalam lakshalabhai.
Mahushchumbatam bimbaraktam dharam me manasya virastamalam lakshalabhe.
Muhushchumbitam bimba raktadharam me manasya virastamalam lakshalabhe.
Mahuscha chumbitam
धरमे मनस्या विरस्तामलक्षलाभे.
Yeah. So here he says that the face of the Lord becomes more attractive. Muhushchumbitam bimba raktadharam me. That because of the repeated so many kisses of the gopis, his cheeks have become reddish. Muhushchumbitam. Muhu means again and again. Chumbitam means kissed. So his cheeks are kissed again and again by so many gopis. There are thousands and lakhs of gopis. They keep coming to the Mother Yashoda, and when they see beautiful Krishna, they kiss him. So his cheeks have become reddish because of the repeated kisses of the gopis. Bimba raktadharam me manasya virastam alam lakshalabhai. So he says that what lakhs and lakhs of boons matter to me in front of this remembering so beautiful form of the Lord. So one thing here we understand that in the spiritual life, we train ourselves to be on the spiritual platform. We train ourselves to be satisfied in the spiritual aspect. So when we say train, that doesn't mean that we imagine. No, it is not that we imagine that okay, we are happy seeing Krishna. No, it's not imagination, because we see that all these great yogis and munis and rishis, and they have given up everything. They have gone to the Himalayas. They are meditating on the Lord. So how can somebody live in Himalayan cold year after year in some cave and just go on like that? We can't even stay one day in Himalaya cave like that. But then they are staying there for hundreds and hundreds of years. How is it possible that without gaining something higher, how can they stay like that? So when somebody is meditating on the Lord, the happiness which one gets is far superior to any of the inconveniences of this world. So that's how he's telling that I just need that remembrance very desperately over all other boons. So like that. So in our life also, we see that whatever reminds us of Krishna, that should be kind of taken as a great. So whether it is our weekly class, which reminds us of Krishna, whether it is some kind of seeing some video which reminds us of Krishna, or hearing some songs of our acharyas which reminds us of Krishna, or meeting some devotees which reminds of Krishna, or reading Prabhupada books, Krishna book, Bhagwad Geeta, which reminds us of Krishna. So these are very great opportunities in our life. It's like a festival. If you get an time to read about Krishna, it's a festival. If we get a meeting with some devotees, it's a festival. If we get opportunity to go to temple. So when these are opportunities, when we get, we grab on. So we cash on such kind of opportunities and then make our life very rich by such spiritual experiences. So that's how when we are practicing our profession, practicing our current life, we are always looking forward how to have that spiritual experiences which are very uh, satisfying, very deep, to the heart, like that. So these kind of so here also he says that I don't need any other boons, even crores of laksha labhai. He says that I don't want any other lakhs of other needs or boons when I have fixed my consciousness on Krishna. So fixing consciousness on Krishna is considered higher than any other material gain. So like that. Because how the thing is, if we can fix things in this world, we will get that thing. For example, somebody fixes his goal on buying a car, and then he may get car in future. He fixes his goal on buying a flat, then he may get the flat. Or he fixes his goal on going to get a green card in America, and then eventually he may get it. But then all these things, even if you get it, you are still here only. You don't go anywhere. You are still in the same material world, which is temporary. It has a beginning and end. But then if our somehow goal fixes on Krishna, then we get something which is beyond this world of temporariness. When we are fixing our consciousness on Krishna, then we get the spiritual world which is beyond such kind of expiry date. It is eternal. So that's how the devotees are always looking for something superior. So this is the fifth. So with this sixth will end for today. You all also can please repeat after. Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukha Jalabdhimagnam.
Namo Deva Damodaran Adinat Vishnu Prasida Prabhu Dukh Jalam Bidam Gnam.
Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukha Jalabdhimagnam.
Namo
Namo Deva Damodaran Vishnu Prasida Prabhu Dukh Jalabandam Magnam.
So here he says Namo Deva Damodar Anant Vishnu. So he's telling that my obeisances to the Lord, who is Damodar. Damodar means who is bound by the rope of Mother Yashoda. But then he says that when you say Damodar, people may say that, oh, same Damodar who was bound by rope. So that Damodar, when we say, some people may say that, oh, Damodar means somebody who was very small boy and then he was tied. That Damodar you are talking. Then he says, no, that Damodar is also Ananta. Ananta means it has no end. So that Ananta only has become Damodar. Don't think that Damodar is limited. So Ananta means it's like it has no end. no anta. So he is Damodar and he is Ananta also. So, and then he describes that he is a Vishnu. Vishnu means he is everywhere. He is not just limited to one place and space. So here he is describing the same Damodar as a all-pervading, all-powerful, the Lord. Namo Deva Damodar Ananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukkha Jalabdhi Magnam. That so he says Prasida Prabho Dukkha Jalabdhi Magnam. तो बोल रहे हैं कि you please come and pick me up from this ocean of misery. So here he is telling that, hey, my dear Damodar, that although you are also miserable because of the fear of Mother Yashoda, you are also crying because of Mother Yashoda, and you are also crying, and I am also crying here in this world. So the devotee also is crying, and the Lord also is crying. So this is a good match. Both दोनों रोने वाले एक साथ है, तो that is like a good match. तो यहाँ पे वो बोले कि आप भी रो रहे हो, मैं भी रो रहा हूँ, तो आप समझ सकते हो मेरा रोना, क्योंकि आप खुद उसको एक्सपीरियंस कर रहे हो. तो वो भाव में वो बोल रहे हैं कि हे प्रभु, जो I am like crying in this world, so please pick me up from this world and place me with you. I don't want to be in this world. Prasida Prabho Dukkha Jalabdhi Magnam. That without you I am suffering here. With you I don't mind, whether it is a suffering or happiness. Everything is happiness for me. But I am here without you suffering. That I don't want. Like you remember that story, how Arjuna chose Krishna in the battlefield when they both had gone to, he and Duryodhana had gone to Dwaraka to win over Krishna's favor. And Krishna said that either I or my Yadavi Sena, these are the two options. And then Arjuna chose Krishna. So Krishna said, hey, why you chose me? So Arjuna said, simple, wherever you are there, that is victory. And he says, if you are there, I don't mind victory or loss. That is immaterial. I just need you. So devotee also thinks the same way, that whether it's happiness or distress, whether it's victory or loss, whether it's any stage of life, if Krishna is there, that is success. So he says, Prasida Prabho Dukkha Jalabdhi Magnam. And then he says, Krupa Drushti Drishtyati Deenam Vatanu Gruhanesha Mamadnyam Edhyakshi Drushaha. So here the influence or the power of Krishna's Krupa Kataksha. Krupa Kataksha means the merciful glance of the Lord is shown here. The merciful glance, there is a lot of poetry, even in Hindi and many other places. You find that how the जो वो लिखते हैं ना, वो तिरछी नजर का कमाल टाइप कि किसी ने आंख डाल दिया और वो he finished, he was conquered by the glance. So ऐसे बहुत सारे कुछ गाने वगैरह रहते हैं. But here we find that the real power of that glance can be seen in Krishna. जब भगवान glance करते हैं कहीं पे, that thing becomes prosperous, that thing becomes opulent, that thing becomes to the highest glory. So that is the कृपा दृष्टि of the Lord. तो हम सब भी भगवान के मंदिर जाते हैं इसी कारण कि भगवान हमको देखे और भगवान का कृपा दृष्टि हमारे ऊपर पड़े. कृपा दृष्टि दृष्टयाति दीनम बतानु. और भगवान हमारे ऊपर क्यों कृपा डालेंगे? तो यहाँ पे वो बोल रहे हैं कि दीनम बतानु, क्योंकि मैं दीन हूं. दीन मतलब जिसके पास कुछ है नहीं. He is very much suffering without the help. So such a needy person I am, that I need your help the most. And nobody in this world can help me the way you can help. So this way the devotee is appealing Krishna to help him. जैसे हम देखते हैं ये दुनिया में भी जिसका जितना अपील होगा उतना हेल्प उसको मिलेगा. सो इट्स लाइक दैट. तो प्रभुपाद एक बार जा रहे थे रास्ते पे मॉर्निंग वॉक के लिए, और जब रास्ते से जा रहे थे तो बहुत सारे बत्तख थे वहां पे, पानी में खेल रहे थे, पानी के बाहर भी आके कुछ कुछ कर रहे थे. तो बदक जो थे पानी में तैरते हैं वो, दे आर द सेकंड कैटेगरी ऑफ स्वैंस. स्वैंस तो बहुत रेयर होते हैं, लेकिन दीज आर द डक्स व्हिच वी सी. सो ऐसे कुछ बड़े डक्स थे और डकलिंग्स थे, छोटे छोटे बच्चे थे. तो प्रभुपाद ने वो बहुत आवाज कर रहे थे, वो जो बच्चे थे छोटे छोटे बहुत क्वैक 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 आवाज कर रहे थे. तो प्रभुपाद ने वहां पे रुके और 7-8 भक्त थे, उनके और देखते हुए बोला कि आपको क्या लगता है, क्या समझ आता है आपको ये डक को देख के? तो डिवोटीज थे, वो देख रहे थे डक को, देख रहे थे प्रभुपाद को, उनको समझ नहीं रहा था कि प्रभुपाद क्या पूछ रहे हैं. तो फिर प्रभुपाद ने एक्सप्लेन किया. प्रभुपाद बोले कि देखो उसमें 5 छोटे छोटे बच्चे हैं, वो जो बत्तख है उसके छोटे छोटे पिल्ले हैं, डकलिंग्स आते, और सब लोग शोर कर रहे हैं, क्वैक 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 क्वैक. But then Prabhupada said that you see that one small duckling, he is shouting the most. He was closing his eyes and he was quack 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 quack. He was like, to his like bottom of his stomach he was shouting. And then the mother, understanding that this child needs the most, whatever she was getting from here there, first feeding was done for that shouting child, like that. So Prabhupada's quoting that and telling that this is how Krishna helps. So when we intensely pray for Krishna's mercy, then Krishna looks at us, because there are so many people praying for Krishna's mercy. So Prabhupada was telling that we should pray like this, very intently, to Krishna to help us. So in our life also we learn that more our intensity, more the possibility of Krishna helping us like that. And this Kartik is a very nice opportunity for us to intensify our spiritual life. So whatever we are doing, we just increase one more degree in that spiritual activity. Whether we are chanting Hare Krishna, whether we are hearing some lectures, whether we are reading, so we just do it little more intensely in this Kartik. So now the Diwali has started from yesterday with the worship of the cows in the beginning. So yesterday was the worship of cows, Vasu Bars, that is called as. And now tomorrow we are heading for the Diwali is there on Monday, day after tomorrow. So it is nice that you can take out some time to visit temple on Monday, very auspicious day, Tuesday or ahead of that also. So you can experience the specifically the lamp offering in the evening time, 7:30, where hundreds of people they come and then they offer very nicely the lamps. Okay, so we'll end here for today. Anybody has any comments, questions, queries, suggestions?